This is my weekly market recap of how I ended up on a 13.5 RR, and this is how I got a drawdown of this week. This week, I only had one winners, but two losers, right? The two losers are not supposed to be the trade I'm supposed to be taking. Any mistake, a lesson learned, right? But we set up on a 13.5 RR. Let's get straight into it. And on Monday, our higher time for drawing liquidity on Monday was right. It's just that we bought in premium, okay? I'm gonna give you guys a quick glimpse of what's gonna happen around this, what we're gonna talk about, right? On Monday, we bought in premium, which is not good. On Friday, we bought in premium again, which is not good. And Friday, we made some bullshit theory on the higher time withdrawal liquidity, and that theory was not backed by proof. And I checked that shit before. That shit does not work, right? And Tuesday was a good day, right? And eventually, we made a mistake. These two, right? But these two mistakes are very valuable, very nice. Now, these mistakes I wrote it down. So now every day I'm looking at the market, staring that shit, right? I'm staring at that shit like I cannot fuck up, right? I will not break these rules. I'll learn these rules, right? Because these rules, right now, it will not cost me that much, but in the future, will cost me a lot, right? So yeah, I went from a negative 6% drawdown to positive 1%. Eventually, Friday, I was around negative 1% RR again. So I'm basically up at break even on my account, right? So now let's go to higher time frame on the daily for the Monday trade. On Monday, it was pretty obvious. Daily, daily IRL to ERL, daily CR, there was nothing else, but there's just daily IRL to ERL, weekly IRL to ERL, the weekly CR to the upside, right? So that's why John Lucky was all over here. That's why we see the market reversing from here, right? Now, if we go to a lower time frame, 4-hour time frame, for our time for a daily range, market super low, super high, stable low, and eventually premium discount. You never want to buy in at premium, you never want to sell in discount. I bought in a premium, so I fucking made a mistake, and eventually I wrote that as a rule. Now, this loss, I'm very happy because I did not have a daily range rule, right? I never had a daily range, specific rule for just a daily range, right? I had a rule for ranges, I had a rule for everything else, but not the daily range, right? So which is fantastic for this loss, right? So now we know that we should not buy in the premium, should not sell in discount. We can only buy in the premium once the discount area. We can only buy in the premium once the discount of the daily range gets tapped. We can only sell in the premium, and we could only buy in the premium once the discount of the daily range gets tapped. We can only sell in a discount once the premium of the daily range gets tapped. In this case, it never got tapped, but once it got tapped right over here, we're looking for a long. So eventually, we had a long opportunity for Tuesday. Tuesday is where we had a big move to the upside, right? And I can see right over here on Monday with the lower time frame for the execution. Now we can see right over here the CRT logo soup right over here. Eventually went up high from here on in, right? See the 6 a.m. push down the CRT low. Eventually, you see the Model 1 happen all over here, very high. Eventually, as you can see, the market never tapped the body of the ceiling range. Market was like, full right Model 1. Eventually, looking to enter the threshold because of Model 1. For a threshold entry, the Model 1 must be correct. In this case, the Model 1 is correct. So entering the threshold, so entry there, stop loss here, and big profit 1, and on forward to the upside, right? But this trade did not even work out. Why? It still hit stop loss simply because it's we're buying in the premium, right? You can see that what's the difference between Monday and Tuesday? And Tuesday we buy in discount, and Monday we buy in premium, and on Friday we buy in premium. There's a reason, right? But wondering, well, if you knew to not buy in a fucking discount from Monday on forward, if you knew to not buy in a premium Monday and forward and not sell on discount, why did you still take it straight to alongside? There was a reason why I still took a straight to alongside. First of all, if I'm gonna lose, I want to lose all the way. If I make a mistake, I want to get points for it, right? Second of all, is that during this time market was ranging, while this time market was trending, right? So during both market conditions, daily range matters. So premium and discount both matters in both type of market conditions, right? So as a money trade, the money lesson is basically to not buy in premium, only buying premium once the discount of the range gets tapped. Don't sell in discount. Only sell in discount once the premium of the range gets tapped. Only buying discount, right? And that's the Monday lesson trade. Emotional throughout the whole week was fantastic. We did not feel emotions. As you guys know, we are not emotional creatures. Some traders, some other people, these people right over here, some other trade could be emotional, but we are not, right? We're different from them. We are better than them, right? So now let me show you guys the Tuesday trade. Tuesday trade, same thing, but we have more structures to here. We have more structure on Tuesday trade. Daily IRL to this ERL now. We have a daily CRT to the upside. As well, we have a daily classic expansion profile, one to the upside, Tuesday low of the week. How would I predetermine this classic expansion profile, two to the profit profile, one to the upside? Because it's a three-candle model, right? So three-candle model will help you decide the what I'm saying, the profiles as well, right? So as well, we had a weekly IRL to ERL, weekly CT to the upside, right? So now it goes to a lower time frame. We still had a bearish order flow. We were now in a discount daily range. Now the discount daily range already got tapped, so now combine a premium or sell, combine a premium, right? Right now we're about to buy a premium, but we're in a discount area, so we're looking to buy still. We're looking for a New York Reversal profile one. No, we're looking for New York Reversal profile two, 5 MA commission, 90 mid position, and 1 premium expansion. But we had SMT with the with the low, so we're still valid here. And what else do we had here? You can see the if I'm bullish, I would want the agent to make the low of it, not the high of it. In case we went to high, they was looking for a New York Russell. We had a premium key level, which is daily CT low, and that was our narrative to here. We buying discount, we are dealing as well. So now the drawn liquidity dealing range becomes dealing range high right up here. After discount of dealing range gets tapped, now let's go to low time for the execution. This trade is our original supposed to be. This trade right over here was originally supposed to be a I'm saying a 16 to 17 RR, but it was only a 15.5 because of the I'm saying slippage and shit, right? So we bought over there, stop loss right over here, entry, I'm saying supposed to be on this Monroe one right over here. You can see this Monroe one is supposed to be our entry. See how the market entered over there because of the slippage and shit, right? So stop loss right below this. Take profit one was this high. Take profit two was right over here, right? And eventually let's take profit was all over here. So this was the, the 4-hour vehicle versus CRT, as well as this right over here was the daily CRT high, daily range high, as well as there was something else with this, right? And yeah, there was a daily ERL high as well, right? And our take profit was all over here, which we're holding for a longer term basis, right? And which got hit on the next day after these two take profits got met, right? So that was a trade right over here. We had a slippage problem, which is all right. Is we can't do anything about it. It is what it is, right? Because the more losses you have, the more slippage you're gonna get, right? So entry there, stop loss here, take profit one, and you can see we are in drawdown for a long time here. This phase me no, because first of all OTE, second of all, if you're in the right side of the market, OTE should play out good, right? And if you're in the wrong side of the market like Friday, right? If you're in the wrong side of the market like Friday, the OT will not work out, right? So you must use the OT in a logical way. So if you have the bias right, OT will work on your favor, right? In this case, I'll tell you guys why my bias was wrong on this day. Why did I made some bullshit theory on that day, right? But on a Tuesday, what was our Tuesday trade which took around all the way till Thursday to meet the drawn liquidity? What was the lesson? Everything was fine. We built good habits throughout the whole week. We followed our rule. We didn't have any emotional conflict. The only problem that we had is we de-risked on this trade. We got out of drawdown with this trade right over here, but we de-risked, right? So if we're to risk 1% on this trade, it says I only risk like 0.50%, right? 0.80% on this trade. If we were to risk 1%, we were going to had the whole, get funny with this trade, right? But we did not do that. And we only risked 0.80%, which only made us to get into, to the break-even stage and eventually right above the break-even, which is we were up 1% on our in the challenge of the phase two. Eventually, we needed 4 more percent to pass. Eventually, on Friday, made us go right back to the 50K mark without it being up or down, right? Which is fantastic, right? I'm very happy with these losses. I want to use these losses as a valuable lesson, because if I were to make these mistakes in the future, right, I'm going to lose way more. I'm going to lose probably 6,000, 10,000, 40,000, 30,000, right? In the bigger number scales, right? Right now I'm only losing like 500,000, not that much. But in the future, it's gonna cost me way more. So in the earlier stages, since I could be way more on risk because I am less richer, you could say, these losses could be used as a lesson to improve me in the future, where I'll know, okay, in the future, even on a trending market or in a ranging market, daily range matters, right? So if you're in a range, if you're in a trending market, the daily range, you can never buy in a premium. You cannot sell in a discount. You can only buy in a premium once the discount daily range gets tapped. You can only sell in a premium. You can only sell in a discount once the premium daily range gets tapped, right? So in the future, I don't make the same mistake, right? So that was a trade. You can see and Wednesday, there was no setups. Why? Because we were already in a trade. Thursday as well, there was no setups. Thursday, at New York session, we did have a setup here. Is that we never had an execution here, right? You can see on Thursday, right over here, we did have a setup. We had a SMT right over here. We had SMT, IRL to ERL. But did I take this trade? No. Why did I take this trade? Simply because in the lower time frame, the 5-minute time frame, the Monroe 1 was a body, right? You can see the Monroe 1 was a body of the Monroe 1, not a full candle closure. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to take it because it was a body, not a full candle closure, right? So now let's go on Friday, where we had our bigger lesson on the day. On Friday, our whole fucking box was wrong in here, right? How was our whole box wrong? On our Friday, I made some bullshit theory, or I thought is, okay, we're going from a weekly, IRL to this ERL. This ERL got a big candle closure above it, which was there at specific times all over here. I was like, okay, they got a big candle closure above it. We're looking to go from this, weekly IRL to this weekly ERL, which was a fucking false statement. Which I made this statement before, and that statement did not work out. And that's just literally, does not make sense, right? Because that only makes sense for a IRL, and even an IRL, it would not make sense, right? So we're going from a weekly IRL to ERL. So I thought in my perspective, we're going from weekly, this weekly IRL, this ERL got versed in Allah. So we're going from this weekly IRL to this ERL, which is a fucking false statement that I made. Now if we go to lower time frame right over here, even the lower time frame, I thought this daily IRL, this daily ERL, this ERL got inversed very hard. So looking to go to this, this ERL over here. It made some bullshit theory once again. It's supposed to be from this weekly ERL to this weekly IRL, as well as a weekly daily ERL to this daily IRL, right? So it made sense for us to go down here and not make some bullshit theory up, right? And we just, on Friday, we made bullshit theory, buying in premium, right? So now it's the higher time frame. The higher time frame was fully wrong. Our higher time frame was fully wrong. So yeah, the lesson of Friday, before we can say the lesson, let me give you guys more, the trade. Let me get to the trade to show you guys more example, right? On the lower time frame, we had a bullish order flow. We had a 4-hour key level. This is a ski level that did not even matter because it was in a premium zone, right? So the ski level did not even matter. As well, we bought in the premium as well. We had a near conversion profile 1 on a commission 5 input non expansion, right? As I said, my Friday trade bias, that trade I actually took, was wrong, right? So we were, as a my bias and my perspective, was a near reversal profile 1, right? So I was looking for a long here, as well as, that was it. That's all we had. So now, because I scheduled 53 time frame, we took execution right over here. I didn't take execution here because I woke up a little late. Right over here, I took execution. What the market did, stop loss fully, right? And our actual setup is supposed to be like this, right? If you go to the higher time frame, weekly, it's supposed to be weekly ERL, right? Weekly ERL to this IRL, as well as a daily ERL to this IRL, as well as a Friday retracement, because we have a context and drawn liquidity going to the downside. So we're looking for a Friday retracement to close the weekly range, right? On the 4-hour time frame, although we had a bullish order flow, we're in a premium of the zone. So when premium want to sell, and this guy want to buy. So since we're in the premium, we want to be selling, right? And also what else we had, that was enough. We're looking for a new situation. If I'm bearish, I would want the lunches to make the high of the day, not the low of the day. So in this case, he met the high of the day. So I'm looking for a new situation. Lower time frame. The 6 a.m. candle never offered the entry. The 7 a.m. candle was the one that offered the entry. It was the NFP trade, right? If it goes to lower time, 5-minute time frame. Execution was right over here. You can see NFP came out, plummeted to the downside. Boom, close above this full candle range. I was like, okay, I'm going to take this, take this candle right over here toward the downside. You never tapped it. Eventually, market closed above the whole consecutive candles range. Eventually, the market, you see tap the this the daily range, right? I mean this number one right all over here, and eventually reflect out of that to go to the downside. And this trade, would have I taken this Friday trade to the downside? No, would have not. Why? I would have only if the market would have retraced to the 50% mark of the of the number one, because I was the number one over here was too big, right? A 45.6 pip stop loss, and as well as the RR was not there, right? We can only go for a 2R and above, and from this number one to this down here, RR was not there. As well, we're going from hourly IRL to ERL, and still the hourly CRT was right over here. That take profit hourly CRT was right over here, so it would have been a break-even trade regardless, right? It would have made no money, right? But even with that, I would have not entered the trade because the candle is kind of big. I can only enter the candle out of the threshold because first of all, we have the right model one, right? Because we had scenarios for model one. The scenario was consecutive candles, and what else we had here? We entered the threshold because of the candles. The range of the candle is too big. It's a big fat candle of a model one, so looking to enter the threshold. Looks like a short out of the threshold, right? Which the market never offers that offered that right. Eventually, you can see market just tapped it and went lower, hit a drone liquidity, and Friday should have been no trading day, but Friday was a very viable lesson day. I'm very happy with Friday, right? Although you're probably wondering, well, with the loss, why are you happy? Lesson, bro. You know what I'm saying? Probably wondering, well, every fucking week you make a mistake. Every week you end up making a mistake. The mistakes I make are a new mistake, right? I have to see, okay, scenarios on this type of market, scenarios on that type of market, right? So if I make a mistake on this type of markets, I know, okay, in the future, even on this type of market and this type of market, in a ranging market or a trending market, these concepts matter, right? So I cannot break up this concept. So sometimes even in a trending market, the range dynamic wouldn't matter, right? In a ranging market, the daily range would matter, right? But in a trending market, it would not matter. The not daily range. I mean, the range dynamic on a trending market would not matter, right? But in a ranging market, would matter. You can see how there's scenarios for that as well, right? So I just making double sure. Very happy with the loss. Just probably wondering, well, you back at 50K. Will you go make it? Will you get this account funded? I definitely will. Right? Just gotta follow my rule, and I will follow my rule, and I do not break my rule. If I make a mistake once, I never make the same mistake. Now next week should be a very beautiful week because we have CPI. Very beautiful week we're gonna have next week, and yeah, this is my weekly market recap. What is the lesson of the Friday? Friday was, do not make bullshit theory. If the market is telling you from daily IRL to ERL, from this daily ERL to this IRL, you're going to have to go from this fucking daily ERL to this IRL. I cannot make up bullshit theory, which has not had proof, which has not been, shown to work, right? And that theory, I've used it before. It did not fucking work, right? And other lesson Friday trade was to not buy in premium, to not sell in discount. Only buy in premium once the discount range gets tapped. Only sell in discount once the premium of the range gets tapped, right? And do not make bullshit theory. Once again, do not make a bullshit theory on a higher time frame. Go based on the market, not your fucking bullshit theory. Go based on the market, not your theory, right? That was a lesson of that day, right? Now let's go over the whole week. Quick recap of the whole week, because the lessons is where the most important part is, right? The lesson of the trades. It's not about me winning or losing. The lesson is the important part of the trade. And you're probably wondering, well, why did you look? Although your rule says to not buy in premium, what did you buy in premium? Because we're not saying, as I said, scenarios. This case, the market was trending, so I was like, okay, can we in the future buy in a trending market while being in the premium? Now he says no, right? You can only buy in a premium when the discount the gets tapped, because during the drawn liquid will be the daily range high, right? So now, what's the difference between a Monday trade and a Friday trade? The difference is the high time impossible was wrong. The difference is that although we both bought in premium, one of them in a ranging market, one of them in a trending market. So now on a daily range concept, Even on a trending market, daily range would matter. Even on a ranging market, daily range would matter. As if like as a range dynamic in a trending market, the range dynamic wouldn't matter, right? But in a ranging market, it would matter. But in a trending market, the range dynamic would not matter, right? So there's a differentiator with the scenarios of it, right? But yeah, very beautiful lesson, beautiful lesson. And the last thing to on a Friday trade before we do a huge recap of the whole week is even on a ranging market, daily range matters, specifically for daily ranges, right? Even on a trending market, daily range matters. So I should never buy in premium. I should never sell in discount, right? So now I should always buy in I should always buy in discount. I should always sell in premium, right? It's nothing else. And I can only buy in a premium once the discount dealer gets tapped. I can only sell in premium once I can only sell in a discount once the premium of the dealer gets tapped. Now let's go for the recap of the whole week. Once again, is buy in a discount, only buy in discount, only sell in premium, nothing else. Only buy in premium once the discount of the daily range gets tapped. Only sell in discount once the discount of the daily range or the premium of the daily range gets tapped. Other lesson is for SMT divergence trade. I will no longer be trading. I will no longer be not trading. I will no longer be de-risking on SMT divergence trades. Why would I not be de-risking on the SMT divergence trades? Why not? Simply because of the most of my setups last week, this week, last week when we had a shorting opportunity, there was an SMT divergence setup to the downside for a 13RR, right? This week we had a 15RR setup. And if I'm going to de-risk on SMT divergences, I'm just going to literally make less when I'm supposed to make it, right? But I'm going to lose the same amount, which is not good. So I want to be not de-risking because my setups usually, most of the time, gives me my SMT. Most of my good setups give me SMT. When I have my different 14RR setup, it was an SMT divergence setup, right? In this case, the setup was a 15RR, 15.5, and it gives the SMT divergence setup right over here to the longest opportunity, right? So for SMT divergence, I will no longer be trading. No longer trading. I will no longer be de-risking on SMT divergence, right? I'll risk the normal size on SMT divergences. I will not de-risk on SMT divergences, right? And the next lesson is even in a ranging market or a trading market, daily ranges matter. So in a trading market, never buy, premium, never sell discount, right? Only buy in premium once the discount daily range gets tapped. Only sell in discount once the premium daily range gets tapped. Only buy cheap, only sell high, nothing else, right? And do not make bullshit theory. I cannot make a theory that's not backed by proof. I must go based on the market, what the market wants to do, not what I wanted the market to do, right? I must go based on the market, not what I want the market to do, right? I must always go based on the market, not my feelings, right? And yeah, this is a lesson of the week. A very viable week, very lessonable week. I loved it. And on Thursday, we never took a setup because the time that press, never happened. And even on, Friday, time that press did not happen because it hit 10:30 without hitting the perch. And our boss was wrong on Friday as well. So this is how I ended up on a 13.5 RR week. Although, if you're wondering why you should be still happy because you ended up on a 13.5 RR. No. The lesson is do not make these fucking mistakes again. I will not make these mistakes again. Right? I will not buy in a premium. I will not sell in a discount. I will only buy in a premium once the discount of the dividend gets tapped. I will only sell in a discount once the premium of the dividend gets tapped. I will only buy cheap and sell high because the market maker models, they always buy cheap and they always sell high, right? I will not de-risk on the SMT divergence because I'm making less, right? And for SMT divergences, I do not need to de-risk anymore. Why? Because I've proved where most of my setups, 13-hour setups was a SMT divergence trade, 15-hour setup was an SMT divergence trade. All the way here, if you go back in time, all the way here, 14.5 RR setup, it was a SMT divergence trade because the SMT right? SMTs everywhere, right? Most of my setups that are beautiful setups, they always are all my high quality setups, which I only take high quality setups. That's why I'm adding these rules here, right? So I don't break these rules again. So I can only focus on the highest quality setups. All these setups that I have are giving me SMT diversion setups. So SMT, I will not de-risk. I will stay on a sound. I will stay on a normal size. And yeah, because if I make money on a de-risk trade, I'm gonna make less. If I lose, I'm literally losing like the same amount, right? Like not too much of a loss, but I'd rather risk normal size but make even more. But if I lose, okay, it's okay as well. But I know that over the long term, it's gonna favor me. It's gonna favor me more than me losing, right? It's gonna make me more. It's gonna make me more in a favorable, right? I know that over the long term, it's gonna make me profitable. It's gonna make me more money, right? Than me losing. So yeah, that's a lesson. On the next lesson, don't make some bullshit theory. I will not make bullshit theory. I will, even on a ranging market or trending market, I will, if there's a dealing range on a trending market, I will not make mistakes. I will only buy cheap. I won't sell high. I will only buy in a premium. Once the discount of the range gets tapped, I will only sell and discount. I'll only sell a discount once the premium of the range gets tapped. I will only buy cheap and sell high, right? Even on a trending market or a ranging market. This is my weekly market recap. This is how I ended up on a 13.5 RR. I'm very happy with the week. Lessonable week, right? I'm very happy. Our Friday trade is supposed to be a bear setup, not a bullish setup, but it's all cool. And Friday was supposed to take a trade. Friday we're not supposed to take a trade, and on Tuesday we're not supposed to take it. I mean, on Monday we're not supposed to check. The only setup we're supposed to have is this setup right over here. No more but this, right? You can see it's unusual for me to have more than one or two setups a week. And as you can see, all my setups last week is supposed to be only one setup a week, right? Last week, only one setup. This week, only one setup, right? These setups are not my setups, right? You can see how it's unusual for me. It doesn't feel right for me to take more than one trade a week. It does not feel right for me to take 2 trades a week. For me are very rare, right? 2 trades a week are for me are very rare trades, right? They're very rare. So yeah, but these setups are lessonable setups, right? Lessonable trades we can learn and avoid it next time. So as you guys know, lose, journal, avoid next time, win, journal, repeat next time, miss, journal, catch next time, right? So yeah, you can see how we're supposed to take one trade setup. I will only, in the future, I will max, I will only take one setup or 2 setup a week max, right? No more than 2 setups a week, right? I'll potentially only stick to 1 setup a week, right? But you can see my rules are set to give me 1 or 2 setup max a week, right? As long as my rule is there, I'm gonna take it. But this one broke my rule. This one broke my rule, right? So yeah, this is my trade recap. Thank you for watching. See you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Join Discord. Link is down below. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.